Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the school board meeting. It is June 1st at 6:01 p.m. and we are meeting virtually via Zoom. And we are going to start tonight with a really special event, our retirement celebration to honor so many years of service of many different members of our staff and honoring their hard work and service to the Portland Public Schools. So it's an exciting way to start our meeting, this celebration, and I'm going to hand it right over to the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me begin by saying that there's no way for us to be able to express our gratitude to all of our retirees appropriately. Collectively, they've given almost 1,000 years of dedicated service to the Portland Public Schools, and that's just simply amazing. Our almost 40 retirees that we're honoring today include many longtime teachers, ed techs, secretaries, bus drivers, custodians, and other important members of our staff. So to our retirees, dear colleagues, whatever your role, you have all worked to make a difference in the lives of our students. Easily, by my back of the napkin calculations, you've probably affected more than 100,000 students over the course of your career. And of course, we can't thank you enough for that. For the second year in a row, our retirement celebration is a virtual one. And while our setting is virtual, let's be clear that our sentiments are very much real. The hugs, smiles, and other expressions of love and gratitude may be different, but no less heartfelt. I'm thrilled that most of you have agreed to be here in our audience for this important event with your colleagues, community members, and hopefully some of your students that you have served faithfully over so many years with such dedication. Most of you are retiring at this time, although some of you retired earlier in the school year, and a few of us, and a few will be with us a few more months still before leaving. Be it as it may, we're taking this opportunity to formally honor you all now. Our building leaders or other supervisors will tell us a little bit about each of our retirees, and then we will open it up to school board members and others to make any additional comments as we wrap up. As a small token of our thanks, retirement gifts will be delivered to all of our retirees, either at your place of work or at your homes. This is always a bittersweet event as we combine our gratitude for your years of contributions with the realization that as you leave, we're losing a wealth of knowledge, expertise, and commitment. As everyone here knows, 80% of our budget goes to salaries and benefits for our staff. Sometimes we hear people wonder about that high ratio. But for those of us who work in schools, we know that this is because we are ultimately a people business. Without the greatest team of people, we wouldn't be able to do any of what we do. Our Portland Promise recognizes that people are our greatest resource, and this group is evidence of that. So again, to my dear colleagues, you've made us what we are, and we are forever in your debt. Enjoy your retirement and come back to see us, or more than just seeing us if you're up to it. You know what I mean, right? Substitutes. And thanks for all that you have done for all of the students and families in the Portland Public Schools. And so now we're going to turn this over. I think, Grace, are you the Master of Ceremonies, Mistress of Ceremonies, or is Anne? You're muted if you're talking.
I just want to remind people that the slides are organized alphabetically by school and department. So there is a slide to introduce your department or your school, and then your retirees follow. And with that, we will start with academics department.
Okay, thank you, Greg and Grace. I am honored to acknowledge Carol Ridlen for her 36 consecutive and 39 total years of service in PPS. Carol is the true essence of an educator and lifelong learner. She is a warm demander who can hold students and colleagues to high expectations while ensuring they feel supported and seen for who they really are. She's patient, compassionate, and determined. She is the teacher who students remember and who colleagues credit with their success. She comes to this work with a full heart. Teaching is not just a job for Carol. It's a value, a passion, and an identity. There are countless stories of how Carol devotes herself to students and staff. I've read letters from past students who are on the cusp of graduation and see Carol as that one teacher who made a difference. I'm aware of ways in which Carol has gotten to truly know families and is there for them through thick and thin, buying the prom dress when that's what they needed most. And I know of countless educators she has coached and supported to be successful in their jobs. You have made a huge impact on the district and on so many people, Carol. Your daily presence will be missed, but your lasting impact will continue to be felt.
Next slide, Greg.
It's, there we go.
Okay, great. Everyone, good to be with you tonight. I'm Jesse Applegate, Director of Student Support Services, and I'm glad to have the opportunity tonight to honor two members of our department who are retiring at the end of the year. Bill Ferreira has been a school psychologist with Portland Public Schools for 33 years. In that capacity, he's worked with many of our schools, ensuring that the needs of our students are met and they're receiving the right services to support their learning. So Bill's empathy, care, and expertise in his work are definitely going to be greatly missed. Also, Suzanne Hardy has been with Portland Public Schools for 37 years. She's been an executive assistant for several departments, most recently with us. In this capacity, Suzanne has played a crucial role in our office management, particularly the important work of managing referrals for special education. So we're definitely going to miss Suzanne and her many contributions to our department. So on behalf of Student Support Services, I want to thank Bill and Suzanne for their many years of dedicated service to our district and our students, congratulate them on their retirement, and wish them all the best going forward. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Derek Pierce, representing Casco Bay High School, and it is my great honor and privilege to recognize two of our founding faculty at Casco Bay High School tonight who are retiring, faculty who have shaped who we are, who we've become, who've been carriers of our vision and mission and helped us actualize that on a daily basis. And the first is Deb Kearstead, who has run our main office since the founding of Casco Bay 16 years ago. She was involved in the Portland Partnership and other places in the district and in South Portland before that, before coming to Casco Bay. She's Maine School Secretary of the Year. She won one time, but frankly could win every year because she's that fantastic. She is our school's first and best ambassador, the person that is often the first impression of families when they're calling to learn about the school, of students as they're starting their day, as staff as they're trying to problem solve and get going. She is the glue and heart of our school and a tremendous facilitator of greatness in others. I am particularly indebted to Deb for my success over the years because she is someone who makes everyone around her far, far, far better. She is the absolute center of Kearstead Nation, which is an important part of southern Maine. And so she holds her family together in the same way that she holds all of us together at Casco Bay. And we are going to miss her so, so dearly, but we're so proud and excited for her to begin this next chapter. Our second staff member who will be leaving us is Peg Richard, who is as talented as an artist. There's an inverse relationship between my ability to make a really snazzy slide and her artistic talents, because Peg can do it all. Peg is a master at everything from costuming to basket weaving. She's been in the district 33 years and like Deb was one of our founding staff and has really been instrumental in how we do learning expeditions. She came to Casco Bay with a knowledge of how to do expeditions from King, how to involve disciplines meaningfully, multiple disciplines meaningfully in learning expeditions for kids to do real significant work and do excellent work. And she's led those learning expeditions for many, many years, primarily at the 9th grade level. And she's been our one-woman arts department. We not only use her for her artistic talents, but also for her theatrical talent. She's led our one-act plays for many years, and was a great leader. And she was our RA for the most of the length of her career at Casco Bay. And I'm proud to say we never had a single challenging issue that Peg and I couldn't solve together. I was so grateful for her thoughtful and considerate leadership. She was a leader right up until the end, serving on our teacher leadership team this year. And she is excited to go more deeply into her role as spouse and grandmother in her next chapter. And we are so grateful for the wisdom and generous heart and caring that she brought to each relationship with her colleagues and students. So congrats to Peg and Deb.
Good evening, everyone. Doug Sherwood, Portland Public Schools Facilities. Tom King had been with us for 32 years, joining us in December 1987. We've seen quite a significant change in staffing and circumstances across the district. I think when he came to work for us, we had 20 people in the maintenance department and grew to another 20 during the summertime with our painting crew. And by the time he left for other pastures, he had only 3 people left in the shop. So we're hoping to grow back and recover from his absence. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allison Dame, one of the co-principals of Deering High School, and I'm privileged to be here this evening to celebrate and honor 3 wonderful, wonderful educators from Deering. Connie Hallett is a physical education health teacher that's been with us for 30 years. And when I asked colleagues to, and myself thought back on Connie, I was struck by just how constantly she was trying to adapt and grow and improve. And an example of that is after some of our students tragically died in drowning accidents, Connie was fierce about getting swimming lessons for our students, many of whom didn't have access necessarily to that learning. And we still hope to get this done. It was interrupted by COVID, but I hope that will be part of her legacy. She is an amazing athlete in her own right, and she was a longtime swimming and cross-country coach here. She was just a source of constant positivity and just always thinking toward improvement. And she retired at the end of last calendar year, and she's already missed at Deering. Celine Wade is an ed tech who served us for 20 years, and it was an absolute pleasure to interview some of her colleagues about her these past couple days. A theme came through loud and clear, which is that she has an amazing ability to build relationships both with students and with the staff. People really enjoy being around her and working with her. And they also took a lot of inspiration for just how deeply she cared for students. She also was described as a great trip planner, and I hope that she's planning some great trips in retirement. And finally, it would be impossible to sum up what Kathleen Harris in her 35 years at Deering has done, both as an English teacher, but very especially in our drama department. As I spoke to her colleagues, over and over it came up that she would find a student who hadn't quite found their groove yet, was maybe struggling with self-esteem or not quite fitting in. And her casting was very inclusive, and people would show up to see students who had barely spoken in their classes absolutely shine on stage alongside the more natural thespians at Deering. She was always connecting us to the state drama competitions. It was a very, very healthy program. Miss Harris was here, and it was a place where many people found their first chance to really do something with confidence and have an audience reflect back their potential. She's just an amazing, amazing person, very well respected by colleagues, and someone who has stood up for her colleagues at really critical times. So much heart and such a loss for Deering, but I think the legacy of the drama department will live on, and we're so grateful for her contributions.
Good evening, everybody. Caitlin LeClaire representing the entire King community and celebrating our 5 retirees this year. So Carol Reynolds had 41 years of service with Portland Public Schools, and all of those were at King. So she has seen King through a lot of changes. Her kind spirit, her thoughtfulness, and reliability will be greatly missed. She was a hard worker. She made sure to stop into every classroom that she was cleaning and check in with teachers and build relationships with them. And we will miss her dearly. We are very excited, though, because she has just become a grandmother of twin grandchildren and is very excited to enter into that part of her life. So we will miss you, Carol. Linda Cady, an ed tech at King, has given 26 years of service at Portland Public Schools. She has been supporting students at King and really cares about kids, which is what shows through in everything that Linda does. She has always been flexible and a team player to the core and willing to help out in any way that's needed in supporting kids in the day-to-day challenges of what life in a middle school brings. So Linda will be missed, but is very excited to enter into retirement and be able to spend time with her family. So thank you so much, Linda. Joseph Charnley is one of my classmates in Portland Public Schools. We started together 19 years ago, and every minute that we have been together as colleagues has been a highlight, and Joseph has been a true added value to the KMS community. He is a champion for world languages at King and across the district. He also, from many, many years ago, has led the charge around Wabanaki studies within our district and had a true impact on me as a former social studies teacher. So he is more than excited to retire and head to Western Mass, where he has a new home with his wife, his dog, and will be able to spend more time with his family. So Joseph will be greatly missed, but we are again very excited for his new adventures. Lynn is, to say that Lynn is our incredible nurse and will be truly missed is a vast understatement coming from the King community. She is the best in every sense, as you can see from a quote from her colleague. She's the best with kids. She's the best with families and in supporting staff. Her dedication, her calm demeanor, and sense of humor have really been valued and throughout, but this year, in a year unlike any other, having Lynn alongside us at the helm leading through COVID has just been invaluable, and just deeply grateful and indebted to her service to Portland and to King, and we'll really miss her. But we know that she is not going to stay too far away from King because she's already trying to figure out how to substitute and work in the main office or volunteer. And lastly, Nancy Barang, 16 years of service as our community partnership developer. She is really, like the quote says, at the heart and soul of teaching and learning in King. She supports all of our teachers in creating strong community connections that are very integral to our learning expeditions. And she has her hands really in all things teaching and learning at King and is someone that we all rely on. She also makes family engagement a top priority and always pushes us to continuously improve. So she is very excited to scratch her traveling itch, and she is headed into retirement with lots of traveling plans. We are selfishly very sad to see her go, but happy for all that she is about to encounter. So thank you, Nancy, and to all the King retirees. A lot of love and graciousness headed your way.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm Robin Bailey, the assistant principal at Lincoln Middle School. I'm honored to be celebrating our 2 retirees this year, starting with Cheryl Palmieri. She's been teaching and supporting students for over 32 years, and during this time has always put students first. She has the innate ability to help students with the biggest challenges feel successful. She's been an integral part of Lincoln's history. She's quiet, yet she's dependable, and has a calm presence about her that people really appreciate. Lincoln is going to look and feel quite different without Cheryl there next year. We wish her nothing but newfound freedom with time and longer hours in her garden. Please join me in celebrating Cheryl Palmieri. Oh, I think you might have, yep, thanks. And our second retiree is Nancy Hart, and she's been teaching and supporting students for over 20 years. Her no-nonsense approach has been welcomed by students who appreciate her ability to treat them with dignity and praise. She's patient but firm, challenges all students to be their best, and advocates for them like no other. She is always available and willing to go above and beyond. She is relatable through her storytelling and simply enjoys all aspects of the student's educational journey. As with Cheryl, we are truly going to miss Nancy each day and listening for her infectious laugh in the hallways. We wish her newfound relaxation while the leaves change in the fall and extended time with her family and friends at the lake. Please join me in celebrating Nancy Hart.
Hello, I'm Holly Johnson, Assistant Principal at Longfellow Elementary, and I'm here to honor and celebrate 3 of our team members from Longfellow that are retiring. The first is Bonnie Harris. Bonnie has been a part of the Portland Public Schools for 27 years. Recently, she has been an ed tech at Longfellow for the past 4 years. She worked at Longfellow in supporting children in a variety of ways and enjoyed building relationships with students and staff. Bonnie entered into retirement earlier this winter, and I know she's already been spending extra time as a grandmother, and that is something she was really looking forward to. Next from Team Longfellow is Catherine Haas. Catherine has been a part of the Portland Public Schools for the past 31 years. She has been a social worker at Longfellow for the past 7 years, and she has helped us all navigate many of our most challenging situations with families, and we will miss her dearly. She is a fierce advocate for children and the families throughout her career, and she has worked tirelessly to support them. So thank you, Catherine. And next is Sue Corado. Sue has been a part of Portland Public Schools for 38 years. She has worked in several schools in a lot of different roles. She has been at Longfellow, most recently as an interventionist and math coach. She has supported students and children in a variety of settings. In classrooms, she's been coaching teachers and helping students think more deeply about mathematics. She's a regular on our playground, helping children navigate some of the joys of recess and also some of the challenges that it can pose. Ms. Corado is always kind, compassionate, and supportive in the work she does with students and staff. We wish all of them a happy retirement, and we appreciate their dedication to our staff, families, and students. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lenore Williams. I'm the principal at Lyseth Elementary School, and I'm here tonight to represent the Lyseth team to honor kindergarten teacher Jane Hodgkins. And Jane, I just want to point out that I insisted on using the old photo of Lyseth Elementary School because I know that's how it's going to be in your heart forever and ever. And just want to go on to say that you're the best, the absolute best. Next slide, please. So here she is with her beautiful family. Jane began her career, and Jane, this is going to sound a lot like This Is Your Life. Jane, also known as Ms. Hodgkins, began her career in the Portland Public Schools as an ed tech at the then named Hall School in 1984. She entered into a kindergarten job share at Riverton School in the fall of that year, and then later, a year later, in September of 1985, made Lyseth her forever home. 1985. All of her professional career has been spent working with kindergarten children. Jane's love and understanding of children of this age and developmental stage is unparalleled. I've worked with many talented professionals, and I consider Jane to be one of the most gifted educators I've ever known. Jane looks forward to spending time with her partner, Charlie. He's pictured here, and her beautiful children and grandchildren, and looks forward to no longer having to follow the group plan, Jane, and know that this is the Reader's Digest version and edition of your retiree tribute, and there's a lot more to come. Love you, Jane, and we are so excited for you all.
Good evening. I'm Ben Donaldson, the principal from Lyman Moore, and we've asked several faculty members to speak on behalf of retirees. So I'll turn it over first to Tyler Jellison.
So first, I want to apologize to Jane Hubley for not making a nice slide like everyone else. Jane worked for Portland Public Schools for 23 years as a social worker. Thank you, Jane, for being such an amazing mentor and colleague to so many over the years. Thank you for sharing your fierce and dedicated heart with the Portland Public Schools community and the countless children and families that you have served and cared for. The 40-hour work week did not apply to Jane. She always went above and beyond to foster meaningful relationships with families and students. She pushes us all to move past the transactional relationships with families. Her office was consistently a safe space where kids could freely express themselves. Often, Jane was willing to challenge our community to know better and to do better, even when it was not popular. She retired this winter, and I went to see her maybe in February, and I heard Jane reflecting back on her own work and feedback that she had been given. She is a model for us all, as her ability to hear feedback is key for us all to be better professionals and to grow as a community. Jane, you are loved, you are missed, and you're remembered with respect by so many, and this will continue for many years. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Tyler. And we have a tribute from our head custodian, Joanne, for Virginia, or Ginny Linskett, as we like to refer to her, in recognition of her 17 years of service. Joanne had this to say. So she's worked with Ginny for 15 of those years, and she was great to have on our team. If we were ever shorthanded, Ginny was one that always asked, "What else can I do to help?" She's dependable, hardworking, and always there to help, and pleasant to everyone, and liked by everyone. When COVID hit this year, she started making masks, and Tammy Jean said that she was the best mask maker of them all. And I'd agree. She made many beautiful masks for the staff at Moore, and many of those are from fabric that reveals how well Ginny knows each individual. And Ginny is pictured here on the left as part of our Tricky Trio moving team from last summer. These three custodians did the work of a full crew to rework our school. And Ginny was right in the middle of it always. So thank you so much, Ginny, for all that you have done and continue to do for Lyman Moore.
Good evening. My name is Audrey Cabral, and I'm band director in Portland, grades 5 through 8, and I'm also the music department coordinator. I'm speaking on behalf of Joyce, and I apologize, Joyce, because my slide isn't as pretty as others that we've seen, but please know in my heart that my slide is just as pretty. Joyce applied to teach band in grades 5 through 8 in schools that I wasn't already teaching at. I knew her from working with her as a general music teacher in Portland, and I knew her experience as a band teacher, and I knew that we would work really well together. Instantly, we gelled, but we didn't agree on. We were able to talk it out, listen to what the other person had to say, and come to an agreement. Once in a while, our disagreements would be over who had conducted the last middle school band rehearsal at the last year's All-City concert, and we would talk back and forth, and one of us would go to our former students and say, who conducted last year? I cannot tell you how much I've learned from Joyce, musically, educationally, professionally, and as a dear, dear friend and colleague. The patience and the care and the love that she showed all of her students continued to amaze me over the years. She's a fountain of musical knowledge, and she loved working with and teaching children. She has a love and a passion for teaching. She has a love of music, and she is a true lifelong learner. We just took a course together last year, and it was just amazing. Her smile is large and her laugh is infectious, and I will miss Joyce dearly, but I know on behalf of my music colleagues, we will miss her. And good luck to you, Joyce, and I'm glad you started early and you're off fishing and enjoying time with your grandchildren. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Catherine Siegel. I'm a school counselor at Lyman Moore. It is my honor to speak tonight about Pam True Katsiafikis. To say that Mrs. K brought the passion of science education to our students and community is an understatement. Her love of nature, from the ocean to the mountains, to the human body, to the stars in the night sky, inspired staff and students alike to seek deeper understanding and meaning of our world, while also really enlivening our sense of wonder. Most importantly, Mrs. K loved her students and they loved her. Her focus was always on students' positive development and well-being. As a colleague, Pam not only spoke about equity, she demanded it. She advocated from this position without hesitation and without ego. She simply insisted on what was best for all students. Her clear expectations, combined with her genuine warmth and wit, made her a favorite teacher, especially for those learners who did not necessarily feel a sense of belonging at school. Mrs. K made all students feel valued and smart. Thank you, Mrs. K, for bringing science to life and for inspiring so many students and future scientists. From your fans at Lyman Moore, we will miss you, and congratulations.
Grace Valenzuela, I'm the Director of Communications for Portland Public Schools, and I'm here to honor the work of Gina Best. Gina Best served for 23 years as a secretary for the Multilingual and Multicultural Center, specifically supporting the language access team. Over the years of being in this role, Gina became very familiar with many of our students' languages. We note that although she cannot speak any languages other than English. She has some basic literacy skills in the 8 major languages that we translate. More importantly, she has also developed a deep understanding of the many cultures of our families and is always respectful and culturally appropriate when meeting and engaging with them. In all these years, Gina is the mama bear for all the parent community specialists at Multilingual. Took care of everyone's needs, made sure that people were on task and that we all made our deadlines. Working with Gina was such a pleasure. She's a compassionate soul. She's thoughtful, considerate, and generous with her time. She always has a positive attitude and has a mindset of student first. Gina, we will miss you. We will miss the way you have nurtured each of us at the center and all of us together as a work family. On behalf of the Multilingual Center staff and the multilingual students and families you have served over the years, we thank you for all that you have done to support us and our work. May the next phase of your life bring you all that you seek and more. I wish you lots of joyous and glorious time with your family. Best of luck, best of health. Enjoy your retirement.
Hello, I'm Anita St. Ange. I'm the director of Portland Adult Ed and here to honor Jane Arlo, who is retiring after 36 years at Portland Adult Ed. Jane started as a part-time evening secretary and gradually rose through the ranks. You can see on the slide, she worked at Paths, at Douglas, at Ocean Ave, at Riverton, and now at Cathedral. Jane is the one person when I arrived nearly 5 years ago that I thought was indispensable. And that turns out to be true because we are actually having to hire 2 people to replace her. She has just been a source of information and support for me and for the rest of our staff. She too is going to be spending time with children and grandchildren and doing a lot of traveling. So Jane, congratulations. Enjoy your retirement and thank you for your years of service to PAE.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Stilfen. I'm the director of Portland Arts and Technology High School. It's my honor to speak about 2 retirees that we have this year. Diane Manzi in our commercial art program has worked at Paths for 27 years. Bill Presby is our welding instructor and will be retiring after 29 years at Paths. It was said earlier tonight that education is a people business, and it certainly is, and I definitely agree with that. But the focus on one group is our students, and those are the people who count. And these 2 instructors never wavered from the commitment to their students, whether it was teaching them new techniques, either in welding or commercial art, or being there when they were down, being there when they were up. These 2 exemplify what it is to be focused on students and their success. Both will be missed. They're both moving on to different chapters of their lives. But as I've often said, your legacy lives on in your graduates, in your programs. And remember, you always are welcome to come back and visit Paths. Again, it's my honor to have worked with you too, and I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Sheila Jepson, the principal at Portland High School, and I am here to recognize Bill Leroy. Bill has been in the district for 35 years. He has taught physical education and health at Deering and Longfellow, and also spent time as the co-curricular director at Deering. Bill has been at Portland High since 2011, teaching PE, health, and first aid. Bill also taught PE in summer school, offering students the opportunity to get PE completed before they started 9th grade. Bill has also coached for a number of years, indoor and outdoor track most recently, and is always willing to step in when we need help or coverage. I really appreciate that about you, Bill. We wish you well and know that you will enjoy spending time with your children, Jamie and Chris, and your infant grandchild. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for serving hundreds of Portland Public School students over these 35 years.
Hi, I'm Angie Taylor, and I'm here to celebrate Beth Hartman and Heidi Nichols. I want to thank Lyman Moore first for being the first school without a photo on the slide. And although the slides I created are pretty boring, they are not reflective of the passion of Heidi Nichols and Beth Hartman. Each of these strong women may be ending their careers in education, but that is not where they began. Nurse Beth started her school nursing career after working in different medical settings. She spent a year at Biddeford Middle School before joining Portland Public Schools at Jack Elementary School and Lincoln Middle School. She was in Portland for 7 years before she moved to the Augusta area and spent 7 years as a nurse at Farrington Elementary School. She then decided Portland was where she wanted to be and moved back to Portland, accepting a job here at Presumpscot, where she has been for the past 10 years. In retirement, Beth is looking forward to traveling and gardening. And I just want to include that I don't think we could have gotten through the year without Beth Hartman leading us through every COVID detail and protocol. She managed to keep our little elementary school open the entire year. So much appreciation for the leadership of Beth Hartman. Heidi Nichols has been teaching in school. Oh, sorry, next slide. I'm not looking at that. I don't know if I'm the next. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Heidi has been teaching in school for 36 years, 37 if you count her first year in college, where she spent it as a ski instructor. She still skis today. She spent her first year teaching as a long-term sub, then 4 years at Reiki before coming to Presumpscot for 31 years. It's amazing. During that time, she taught in the classroom and as a math coach, which allowed her to travel to many schools in Portland. She was also a computer teacher at multiple schools before settling back at Presumpscot and returning to the classroom. Heidi also spent 20 years in the Army National Guard. Thank you so much, Heidi, for your service. In retirement, Heidi plans to fill her days golfing, gardening, and traveling. Heidi was one of the first people I met when I interviewed 2 years ago. When I walked through the doors of Presumpscot, feeling a little timid, she sat me down, gave me a Chromebook, and said, "You can do this." And right then, I felt like I was a part of the community. So we will miss Heidi and Beth Hartman terribly next year, and we will celebrate them more in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for your service.
Good evening. We have, excellent. Good evening. I'm Renee Serio, one of the 3 teacher leaders at Reiki School, and Ted, Lori, and I are delighted to take this time to highlight 2 of our retiring Reiki teachers. You will see here on each slide what their colleagues said about them. And I want to tell you a little bit about Allison Chomsky. Since 1997, Allison has shared the joy of experiencing and exploring music with thousands of elementary schools in Portland. Early in her music career, she completed the Orff Schulwerk Music Education Certification from the University of Massachusetts, which defined her teaching philosophy, a child-centered approach to hands-on musical experiences. She has served on the school's leadership teams. She has served on school enrichment committees. She has attended the Maine School Wellness Conference for many summers to plan and implement school wellness in Portland schools in the district. She's been a guest lecturer at the Northern New England Collegiate Symposium on Music Education at the University of Southern Maine. She was among 30 teachers selected to attend the Yale Symposium for Music Education. Subsequently, she received a Yale Distinguished Music Education Award from Yale University. She attended Carnegie Hall Summer Music Educators Workshop. I'm going to pass this off to my partner, Lori.
Good evening. I'm Lori Babinski, and it's an honor to share a bit more about Allison. Magnum opus. Allison designed and created the curriculum for the Portland Symphony Orchestra's Explorers program, which was an educational program which integrates music education and academic objectives. The program partners PPS curricula with music activities to expand and support academic goals. The program has been implemented in Portland elementary schools, grades K through 3, since 2014. Allison has been an ambassador for arts integration, facilitating the symphony, receiving over $500,000 in grants because of this educational program. Under her leadership, elementary courses have performed at Merrill's Auditorium for the city's Martin Luther King Jr. celebrations and at the Portland Museum of Art. Her courses have performed concerts for residences at local assisted living facilities and have performed the national anthem at the Sea Dogs numerous times. She has planned and participated in numerous arts nights, highlighting student musical performances and at school for families in the community. She maintains her career as a professional musician with orchestras around Maine, often working for Bates and Bowdoin colleges. The Reiki community would like to thank Allison for her years of service, for her leadership, and for extending the arts into the community. And we wish her a happy retirement, enjoying this first bit traveling. This next part is a little video that, I don't know if we have time for that now, but the staff made a video for Allison. She's led us with ukuleles and singing as a staff. You can see the singing, but you can't hear it, it looks like. But anyway, she's just been instrumental with the staff.
Thank you, Lori. That is Happy Trails to You. You would hear that if it were playing now. And if you go back to the slideshow, I would like to talk about Kelly Johnson. All right, my name is Ted Hummel. I'm also one of the lead teachers at Reiki School, and I have the honor to speak about Mrs. Johnson. Kelly has served as a special ed tech for 24 years in Portland schools. She's called 2 schools her home. Her first 13 years was at the West School, which I actually first met her back in 2001. And for the next 11 years, she's been with us at Reiki. But in fact, Kelly started Portland schools way before that. She actually attended Catherine Morrill Nursery as a 4-year-old. And then she went to Presumpscot for elementary school, middle school at Lincoln, and attended Portland High School. And in fact, she personally received the Howard C. Reiki Award from Mr. Howard C. Reiki himself when she was a senior at Portland High School. As you read through the comments, you will note the themes from her colleagues: kindness, honesty, dedication, and humor. There's a wisdom to Kelly that guides how she moves around the world. She is the same person with everyone she interacts with, kids and adults alike. Her voice is refreshing. She is refreshing. Congratulations, Kelly. Enjoy your family retirement, and thank you for all the service you have given to all of our students.
Hi, everyone. I'm Barbara Fletcher. I'm the row principal, and it is my pleasure to be here this evening to speak on behalf of the row community about 2 retirees, and starting with Avalinda Lindsey. So Avalinda, who's pictured here in many beautiful ways, began her journey with Portland Public Schools 28 years ago as a custodian at Hall School, where she served most of her career. Avalinda has both left her mark on and added a tremendous amount of value to the Hall Row community as an incredibly hard worker, colleague, and friend. Avalinda is best known for the following traits: strong work ethic, pride for her school and community, being a fierce advocate for what is right, her dry and witty sense of humor, her honest and direct communication, her friendly and welcoming disposition, and her love and adoration for family, colleagues, and friends. Avalinda's custodial leadership played an instrumental role in the building and construction process that brought the best of Hall to Amanda Rowe School. Avalinda has always made herself available to help staff in any ways possible in order to make our facilities safe, accessible, and highly functioning for everyone. In 2018, the Rowe community had the honor of celebrating Avalinda, who is a Jamaican immigrant, in a naturalization ceremony that took place here at Rowe School, serving as a beautiful experience and lifelong memory for Avalinda and our community. And you can see a couple pictures there of Avalinda at the ceremony. Some direct quotes from staff. Avalinda gives the greatest hugs around. Avalinda has a big personality. She is honest and will tell you if something is bothering her, as well as lift you up when you're feeling down. When you get to know Avalinda, you see her big heart. She often laughs so hard that she cries. Look out, once Avalinda starts dancing, you'll see her fun-loving side. Avalinda is an awesome cook. She makes the best fried chicken ever. We at Rowe would like to wish Avalinda all the best in the next leg of her life journey. And there are some words to describe Avalinda. And I'd also like to talk about Val Vassar. Val began her journey as an educator 42 years ago, 38 years of which have been spent serving Portland Public Schools, educating students in grades 1st through 5th at Lyseth, Baxter, Riverton, what is now Talbot, Hall, and Rowe. Val has added a tremendous amount of value and has been an inspiration to the PPS community as both a passionate educator and lifelong learner. Val has been a role model for lifelong learning through participation in a plethora of professional development opportunities over the years, through UConn, UMO, Harvard, taking any opportunities she could to learn and grow as a professional. During her time with PPS, Val has served in many capacities in addition to being a classroom teacher, including being a science and math coordinator for the district, partnering with Side by Side, the Portland Museum of Art and Maine School of Art on a variety of different projects, and a leader of professional development in Wabanaki studies. Some direct quotes from staff about Val. Val is always giving her all for her students, engaging them in fun and sometimes messy science experiments. Val will be missed. She is the teacher that kids will look back on and remember all the special little details she added to every lesson. Whenever I'm in her classroom, I learn something new. She is what a teacher should be and always puts kids first. I can't imagine Rowe without her. Val has always been a committed teacher. She has gone above and beyond, spending long hours at school planning. Most of all, she puts children first. Most recently, a colleague offered to do a tutorial to help some of our ELL students during after-school hours. Who was one of the very few people who attended? You guessed it, Val. This further exemplifies her commitment to students until the very end of her career. We at Rowe would like to wish Val a peaceful, restful, and well-deserved retirement. And some words to describe Val. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ann Hanna, and I am the principal at the Gerald E. Talbot Community School. And it's an honor for me to recognize and celebrate two people from our school who are retiring this year. First is Maureen Lovejoy, who's been a member of our school community for over 46 years, which I think could be a record tonight. She has been a classroom teacher and then became a reading interventionist. And every staff member would agree that the number one thing we know about Maureen is that she cares deeply about students. Maureen's ability to build relationships with students was at the heart of whatever she did at Talbot. And she had a way of making connections with the students who needed it the most. She has been a devoted and hardworking educator who consistently puts students' needs above everything else. Plus, I know I could always count on Maureen myself to jump in and lend a hand no matter what the situation. And as a staff, we could also all count on Maureen for her vibrant outfits filled with flash, splash, and sass. All of us at Talbot are going to miss her can-do spirit, her lively personality, her creative energy, and her witty sense of humor. Our Talbot family just won't be the same without you, Maureen. Have lots of fun in your retirement adventures. Come back and visit us often and try not to get into too much trouble. The second person to honor tonight is Jen Rogers, who has been an extremely talented reading interventionist teacher for many years at Talbot. but will always be known for her incredible kindness, patience, calm, and her deep knowledge of children's reading development. Jen has been the ultimate professional educator and has done an outstanding job supporting many students in their reading progress and in their discovery of the joy that comes from reading books. Jen's expertise has guided our RTI team meetings and student intervention plans, which is going to be very hard to replace. She has been a true thought partner in collaborating with classroom teachers and finding ways to support and strengthen students' literacy needs. Jen has a very generous spirit and is just always willing to lend a hand or materials to help anyone who needs it. She is the epitome of what it means to be collaborative, and she is just the nicest person to work with. Everyone at Talbot wishes you all the best in your retirement. Jen, you will be missed by your colleagues, by your students and your families, and by me. Thank you both to Maureen and to Jen. We appreciate your dedication to our staff and our families and students and wish you both a very happy retirement. And we look forward to celebrating more with you in a couple of weeks.
So I think that wraps up. Am I correct? Yep. Awesome. So again, congratulations and thank you so much to all of our retirees. This is a fitting tribute for all the tremendous work that you've done for the district, and we can't thank you enough for what you've brought to us. And I don't know, Madam Chair, if you want to open it up for any board members who may want to say some words.
Absolutely. If board members would just raise their hand so I can call on you in order. I'll say while we're waiting for any board members, just that more than several of the retirees have impacted my own children's lives. And so that's maybe my window since I'm not working with the staff day in and day out. And it's just a testament to the hard work and dedication, hearing 43 years and, multiple decades for so many, just blown away by how much our staff give Portland students every day and for over such a long period. So thank you so much to all of our retirees from the bottom of my heart. We're so grateful for all that you've given, and excited for what comes to you and your families next. Okay, first I'm going to recognize Miss Russell-Better.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to thank everyone who was recognized tonight. And just in particular, wanted to just give a brief shout out to the two staff that were being recognized from Presumpscot, Nurse Beth, whom my one child knew well for 7 years at Presumpscot. So I wanted to acknowledge how grateful our community was to have a seasoned, experienced nurse this year during COVID. I think it just made such a huge difference for our community to feel safe in going to school. And then she got to know my little one who was accident-prone child as well. So just grateful for Nurse Beth. And then for Miss Heidi Nichols, I also just want to share my gratitude for my 5th grader this year, for really just making my child's year. It was such a tough one and a tough one for her. And so I just want to share my gratitude for myself and families who just your steadfast leadership and experience this year was just really appreciated. So wanted to thank the two of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Russell-Better. Ms. Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think that both of you have already said a lot of what I was going to say. There's so many familiar faces, having been on the board from 2006 and also having 2 children go through the Portland Public Schools as well as myself. I interacted with so many of these people. So all of you, thank you so much for all of your service. And particularly, I wanted to mention Allison Jahomsky, who was such a support system to my daughter playing violin, my oldest, and my I'll get that in a second. And Avalinda Lindsey, it's true that she has the biggest heart, and everybody will be missed very much. So thank you for the opportunity. Sorry about the beeping.
Thank you so much, Ms. Thompson. Ms. Bondo.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And I just want to echo my colleagues on the board for just to congratulate all the retirees. If you look at how many years they just have spent, it's really showing the commitment, the passion, and the value to advance the education for our children. So I just want to speak about Jane from the multilingual, because when I came first in Maine 11 years ago and tried to enroll my children to the public school system, that's the face that I saw. You are Jane, a big smile, a welcoming smile, and working as a volunteer with so many programs in the multilingual office. She was all the time the person that I used to go knocking on her door and just getting a lunch with her. So I really wishing her all the best. And I think now she can just, enjoying everything that she has done. We're going to miss you. So good luck to you, Gina. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bondo. Ms. Trevorrow.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to echo the sentiments of gratitude. I grew up with both of my parents were teachers, and my dad was also a coach. And so, I spent my summers helping them set up the classroom and being the kind of guinea pig for whatever new curriculum they had chosen. And I know that it's a job that you take home with you and that you work all summer. And that it is possibly the greatest, it's fulfillment of the greatest societal need, I think, that we have, education. So your giving of your life is certainly something that doesn't go unnoticed, I think, among our board, and just a lot of gratitude for that. Thank you and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you so much, Ms. Trevorrow. Mr. Burke.
Yeah, thank you. I want to express my deep gratitude and know that the best reward comes from the stories that are your students' lives. And I hope that you all hear how you've touched and enriched their lives as you enter into this phase of your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Mr. Youssef.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you so much. I want to congratulate everybody to have some good time after the year that we had. Thank you so much for your services. I want to particularly mention Jane Hobley, Lyman Moore, and Jane and I met. She was one of the first Portland Public School educators that I met, and she was part of the Gateway Community Services Clinician group. And then we worked with students and their families. I'm really, really impressed how cultural competent she was and how hardworking. She told me that she was teaching in the morning at the school, and I was like, that's the hard work. Thank you so much for what you're doing. And she helped a lot of refugee and newcomers to manage symptoms and help their students. And that connection that she made was really helpful for the newcomers and the community that were struggling somehow to get along and to integrate in the community. So thank you so much, Jane. Thank you. You will be missed. You were a role model for me. You helped me a lot, and you pushed me to go graduate school. And so thank you so much, and thank you, and enjoy your retirement. And I'm so grateful for your services of Portland Public Schools, as well as the new Mainers. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mr. Youssef. Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. What a great comment for Mr. Youssef to share with the board. Thank you for that. I'll be very brief, but I want to join my colleagues on the board in thanking the 35 plus retirees for their service and their contributions to Portland Public Schools. And just a common theme in every presentation is you have so many peers that you've touched and so many students that you've impacted in your careers. And you know, as the theme went, you've shaped Portland Public Schools throughout the years. So we are an amazing district because of your time here. And that will stay behind as you enjoy your retirement, your well-earned retirement. So thank you again for your time and service to everyone. And I certainly hope that you have all the time and all the freedom to relax in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rodriguez. Okay, with that, I think we're going to close the ceremony celebration of our retirees. Mr. Superintendent, anything else you want to end on?
No, just again to thank and recognize all of those amazing people that have given so much to the school district. And I agree with Mr. Rodriguez about hope that you enjoy your time off. I also hope that you will come back when you're ready to support the public schools in the way that you have for so many years. So again, thank you. And this is always your home.
Definitely. Thank you so much to everyone.